Welcome back, guys, to Ace Attorney Investigations 2, Prosecutors Gambit, where we now come to the High Prosecutor's office on another day, by the look of it, in room 1202, with Edgeworth and Co having retreated from a situation in which Edgeworth may be losing his job in the future, set to appeal his prosecutorial ban. His badge may be lost. But with that said and done, we've also been taken off the case, the investigation of a murderer's murder. Leaving the prison with Knight's body behind, not knowing what's going to go on with that. What will we do next? I still can't believe what happened yesterday. It was terrible, the way those two treated you. Now let's cut to the chase. I'm here to clean up your mess, Edgeworth. The committee hereby decrees that Prosecutor Edgeworth be relieved of his duties and replaced by Prosecutor Winner. Here ends the verdict. Judge Gabel and Mr. Winner certainly didn't mince their words, but that's not what concerns me right now. I'm more worried about the committee's reasons for doing what they did, and what they might do next. I suspect it won't be good. To Mr. Edgeworth, are you listening to me? Yes, of course. So, this is it? You're giving up on the Bronco Knight case? No, I have no intention of doing any such thing. To walk away from the case would be to tacitly accept the committee's decision. The only problem is that I don't have the authority to continue investigating. Yes, what is it, Detective? I've got some bad news, sir. Word down the precinct is... they just arrested somebody for Knight's murder. What? Do you know who it is? No, but I heard they're being held in the detention center. Maybe you could go talk to whoever it is? Good idea. Let's get down there, Mr. Edgeworth. Even without the authority to investigate, surely I can still pay a suspect an innocent visit. All right, we're on our way. Me too. I'll see you there, sir. But won't you be missed, Detective? Nah, everyone's busy in the prison going over the crime scene anyway. Good, then we'll see you shortly. Yes, sir! Come on, Kay. Let's go. You got it! Ever faithful. Our loyal hound. Well, in the detention center a couple of hours later. Or even probably not that long. Who is the suspect? This feels a bit like a repeat. Still no sign of them, huh? Indeed. Wait, this is just like last time. Please don't tempt fate like that. No, I can't. I just can't. Sure you can. I told you. It's just a pair of visitors. Sounds like someone really doesn't want to see us. At least the person's alive. No. Just talk with them, please. But one of them's a prosecutor, right? Are they all super scary? All they do is stare at you, right into your soul. Ah, you must be the suspect in the... Ah! See? I told you! Okay, why is this man so flustered? Probably because you're being you, but I guess that's just how you are. And thanks for clearing up absolutely nothing. Hey, Mr. Suspect, you doing okay in there? We just want to have a little chat with you. No biggie, right? Who are you? I'm Kay Faraday, Mr. Edgeworth's trusty sidekick. It's just a part-time gig I'm doing while I take a break from my real job, though. Funny, I don't recall ever employing you. And that's Mr. Edgeworth. He is a prosecutor, but he's not going to stare a hole into your soul or anything. Oh, please. Really? 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 No! Anyway, can you first please tell us your name? It's Saint. Simeon Saint. Well, nice to meet you, Simeon. You can call me Kay. Everyone else does. Prosecutor Miles Edgeworth, I would like to ask you a few questions, if I may. Please, Simeon. We're trying to help you. I promise. Really? Thanks to Kay, it sounds like we might finally get some answers at least. Let's ask about you. Present stuff straight away. That would calm him down. Perhaps you could start by telling us a little about yourself. Who, me? But why would anyone want to know anything about me? I'm boring. I'm nothing. I'm a nobody. Do you have a job? Oh, well, it's hardly worth mentioning, really. I'm your average corporate pencil pusher, just like everybody else, honest. This is going to take a while. What is your relation to Knight, if any? About you and Mr. Knight. And just when I thought we were making progress. Okay. So, Simeon, did you know Mr. Knight? Come on, you can tell me. Bronco? Yeah, I knew him. We were friends. Interesting. I wonder if he knew that Knight had been arrested. And, did you know Mr. Knight had been arrested? Yeah, I even came to visit him. He came to see Knight. I wonder when that would have been. And when was that, Simeon? It was the day before yesterday, around lunchtime. I came as soon as I got the call from the cops. The police called him? Why? How come the police called you? They said Bronco asked them to, that he needed a favor. A favor? Uh-huh. He wanted me to bring him his chess set, the pocket-sized one. So I went by his place, and then I came here. A chess set? A chess set? Is it just me, or is she getting better at stealing my thoughts? You do know everything you think is written all over your face, right, Mr. Edgeworth? Yeah, I'm not a mind reader, just an expression reader. Amazing, right? Don't you just love having a psychic as helpful as me? And have you read what my next move is going to be? I sure have. That's something you want to show Simeon. Indeed. Let's present it to him and see what he has to say about it. I guess you mean the specific set. What's its secrets? So this chess set. Oh, that's the one I brought for Bronco. Well, that settles that at least. Pocket chess set data has been updated in my organizer. We, found it next to Mr. Knight. He always had to have a chessboard somewhere nearby. I'm not surprised he had it with him when he... Simeon, you and Mr. Knight, you were very close, weren't you? Yeah, we were best friends. At least I thought we were. But I guess I was wrong about that. What do you mean? If I knew him so well, why was it such a shock for me to find out he had killed someone? It's not easy discovering that someone you're close to has committed a terrible crime. It's a very bitter pill to swallow indeed. How could it all end up like this? I could never have imagined something so awful. Something's not right here, Mr. Edgeworth. There's just no way Simeon murdered Mr. Knight. Yes, he certainly doesn't seem to have an obvious motive. Then again, he wouldn't have been arrested for no reason either. I wonder what grounds they had for doing so. What is your reason for arrest, then? Why were you arrested, Mr. Saint? I just don't get it. Why won't he talk to me? I don't know, honestly. I don't. Well, he answered you, Mr. Edgeworth. I guess he's not scared of you anymore. And thank goodness for small miracles. The cops burst into my house this morning out of nowhere. And before I knew it, I was here. These policemen. Was there a prosecutor with them? Yes, some kid named DeWinner or something? The rookie. I thought as much. Yeah, but DeWinner? What's that about? So, did they interrogate you yet? What? I'm gonna be interrogated, but by the cops. Well, yeah, I mean, you've been arrested. You're a suspect now. No! Won't the detective shout at me and threaten me and... Oh! They're always these hulking guys, right? Who get in your face and force you to... Detective Dick Gumshoe, reporting for duty. Ah! See? I told you. But please don't hurt me. Please don't crush me with those huge arms. No, please. I'm calling the cops. What's up with this guy, Mr. Edgeworth? Oh, nothing, Detective. You're just being you. I guess it's just how you are. I don't get it, sir. Look, Mr. Edgeworth, Simeon is clearly innocent. So there's got to be something we can do for him, isn't there? Mr. Saint. Yes? You were Mr. Knight's friend, and 2 days ago you came to visit him. You had nothing at all to do with his murder. Is my understanding correct? Yes, I didn't kill anybody. Very well, then I will choose to believe you, and I will do all that I can to assist you. Huh? But why would you help a nobody like me? Let's just say that I may not be doing it solely for your sake. I have something of a personal interest in this case. That's right, it's payback time. We'll show those two whose investigation reigns supreme. Oh yeah, now we're cooking. Unfortunately, I still lack the authority to conduct said investigation. As such, my resources are rather limited, and I'll need to lean heavily on the ones I do have at hand. Which means you, Mr. Saint. Your information will be invaluable going forward. In other words, let's see if we can't help one another out, shall we? Oh, I just thought of something. Why don't you just borrow an attorney's badge? Then you can represent our pal here. Now's not the time for jokes, Gummy. I mean, Mr. Edgeworth is a prosecutor. He couldn't defend anyone if his life depended on it. But I wasn't kidding. I just thought helping suspects. That's what a defense attorney does, you know? Sure, but we can do that too. The only thing that matters is that we find the real culprit in the end. So come on, let's get to work. Yes, ma'am. I actually like his idea, but... I'm sure you know already, but just to be clear, if our investigation ultimately proves you to be the culprit, we'll have no choice but to treat you like any other suspect. But you needn't worry. I believe you, or at least I have decided to try, for now. Just hold tight and try to believe in us in return. If nothing else, it might help you to feel a little less alone. Now, if you'll excuse me. I mean, we've basically got to the scene of the crime-ish already. At least there's definitely information to get from what happened out here in the holding cell part of it. Before the body made it to the prison, that's for sure. So we talked a good game in there. But we can't even get back inside the main prison to see the scene of the crime. Maybe defend the guy in court is our best bet after all. Gummy, can't defend for his life, remember? I don't know. I reckon he could twist himself around to it. He's definitely had some hints and tips in the past. Well, who do we have here? Ah, a team up, eh? If it isn't Edgeworth and the gang, what are you cats doing here? Listen, pal, you got me to harass Mr. Edgeworth again, oh. Hey, easy there, Detective Flatfoot Sholmes. I'm here to work. Work? What? You're here to defend somebody? Whoa, the K-Mice and Nels in one. I'm just the Uber Intelligentes one of the bunch. Uber Intelligentes? That's not how you use either of those words, Fender. Some may say I'm an easygoing old rogue about town, but I'm actually not a half-bad attorney. Which is why I've been summoned to the old jailer Rooney for a meeting with a new client. The suspect is one Simeon Sainsbury. You mean Simeon Saint? Wow, that's freaky! You know more about my job than I do! Wait, Mr. Edgeworth, this defender's a defense attorney. Are you thinking what I'm thinking? I fear I might be. In fact, it could be our only option. Not so long ago, I found myself embroiled in another case that wasn't mine. I managed to worm my way onto the crime scene by agreeing to be a certain someone's subordinate. Not an experience I ever wanted to repeat, but I fear I may have little choice. Fender, before you say another word, I just gotta point out the fine print. Eddie Fender doesn't take on associates. Say it ain't so, I hear you protesting, but Popper's prosecutors are a no-go. Especially those of the Von Karma variety. I should have known he wouldn't forgive me that easily. I understand why you wouldn't want to work with someone like me. What's more, I understand how you feel about all things Von Karma. But please, believe me when I say, I'm not the man I was back then. I'm no longer under my old mentor's spell. You better believe it, pal. Mr. Edgeworth's a changed man. Sure, he used to be the demon prosecutor, but he's not like that anymore. I do have feelings, Detective. Gummy's right. Mr. Edgeworth's one of the good guys now. He's not just a prosecutor, he's a hero. He got me off the hook just last month. You don't say. Well, that escalated quickly. But he was. There's no other word for it. He was heroic. Great fearfully, even. Please, Fender, don't you think there's something odd about the way the committee stepped in yesterday? There's more to this case than meets the eye. I'm certain of it. I can't just walk away from this. I can't. Please allow me to help you with this investigation. Sheesh. Bow from the great Miles Edgeworth. Never thought I'd see the day, but here we are. So enlighten me, if you will. What made the leopard change his spots? Well, I suppose I would have to say the courtroom itself. I have experienced so many things, met so many people there within its four walls, including some old friends who showed me a better way to be. How could that not change a person? Well, I'll be. The old you would never have bared a soul like that. That was beautiful. You might have even surprised you know who. And you know how much that takes. Tell you what, here's what we're going to do. We're going to start again with a clean slate. So, this is me. Edgeworth and Co law officers, Eddie Fender, senior partner. Who? Edgeworth? That's right. Mr. Fender here began his legal career as an assistant to my late father, Gregory Edgeworth. What? Your dad was a defense attorney? So the you-know who Mr. Fender keeps talking about is... The clever K-Meister nails it in one yet again. That's right. I was talking about his old man. Guess you all noticed I kept his name over the door, so to speak. Least I could do for old Gregory, really. Listen, Edgeworth. Miles. I'm going to level with you here. I don't trust you. Not fully, anyway. I can't just forget about all those years you spent licking Von Karma's boots, you know? Anyone can say they've changed. I'm going to need you to prove it. Besides, you know it's what Gregory would have wanted. Very well, I accept. Okay, then that's enough hardball for one day. Let's move on to the fun stuff. I hereby appoint you interim associate of Edgeworth and Co. Congrats, man. I will try not to let you down. Well, doesn't this bring a tear to the eye? The prodigal son coming on board at his late father's firm. Permission to come on board too. Please, Mr. Fender. You don't even have to ask, kiddo. Welcome to the crew. Woohoo! Thanks, Captain. Alright, I guess it's time to go to work. So, where to begin? Any bright ideas, Miles? Where were we when we were so rudely interrupted? Well, I guess it's safe to say that probably wasn't the victim. Indeed, it sounds more likely to have been the person who found his body. I believe we need to speak with the person who found the body. Just what I was thinking, eager associate. We do indeed. Still the type to smile and nod, I see. That will certainly make my life easier, boss. Now that that's decided, let's get going. What about me? I'm a detective. I can't just hop on board as an attorney's assistant like you guys. He has a point. I can't leave him adrift all on his own now, can I? Detective Gumshoe, I have a special assignment for you. You are to continue investigating the case under Mr. Winner. And if you happen to discover anything that seems useful, you are to notify me immediately. Yeah, no, totally couldn't get him to lose his job or anything. You're in a uniquely powerful position, Detective, and I'm going to need all the info you can pass our way. You can count on me, sir. I'm a real pro when it comes to letting things slip to the defense. True. The right man for the job. Trust me, I know. But just this once, those loose lips of yours might be what saves our ship. But why the prison gates, good sirs? Because here we come. So, any idea how we tracked down whoever found the Bronxter's body, Miles? I think our best bet would be to simply ask around. Oh, don't you dare! Who's this? Who is this? Yes, who is this? Who is this? Excuse me, but... Oh, my. Just look at you. Are you talking to me? Just fabulously chic, darling. Fabulously. Facial hair is so very au courant, don't you think? Enchanté, mademoiselle. I'm much obliged. Defense attorney Eddie Fender at your service. Let's get things off on the right foot, shall we? A little embrasure, perhaps? Oh, I like the sound of that. Right on the kisser! Well, how else does one greet a new friend, huh? A little smooch is entirely de rigueur, don't you think? Wow, talk about stealing a kiss! Indeed, an act so shameless it puts even great thieves to shame. Physical contact is so very important as a form of expression for our little family. Everyone in this lovely home will tell you as much. Hey, if everyone else is hip to that, I can be hip to that too. Sure. Fifi Laguarde, by the way, warden of this charming abode. You may call me Fifi, of course. So she's the warden of the entire detention center and prison facility, is she? A pleasure to meet you, Miss Laguarde. Miles Edgeworth. I am an associate with Mr. Fender's practice. I hope you don't mind me asking, but were you here in the prison yesterday? Oh, don't be silly, darling. Of course I was. Yesterday was a very important day, after all. Important in what way, exactly? A big meeting of some kind, perhaps? A meeting? Oh, heavens, no. I couldn't think of anything worse. No, yesterday the circus came to visit. It was a simply spectacular event featuring some terrifically talented animals. Anyone had to be there. If you were at home, you were watching the show with me. The performers set up a special stage in the yard just for us. We are one very lucky family, n'est-ce pas? So she was at this circus performance for the inmates yesterday morning. Mr. Casolato mentioned a show yesterday as well. He must have been talking about the same thing. What time did the show take place? From around 8 until 10 maybe. Yes, something like that. Meaning it finished right around when the body was discovered. And by dint of having attended the show, she has a reasonably solid alibi. Oh, would you look at the time? Sorry, darlings, but I really must dash. Feel free to explore our home. Mi casa, su casa, and all of that. Ciao for now. Well, what now, Mr. Edgeworth? And the person who found the body screamed, and that scream was heard by one inmate that we know of. Therefore, our first task is to question this inmate and see where his information will take us next. We look at horses and parrots. Oh, it's a blurb about the guy in the cell. Let's see what it says. Oh my god, what are you, exhibits? Prisoner number D259, classification, habitat, C cell to the right. Not exactly helpful, is it? This grisly fellow is a pet polar bear called Teddy. He's a former boxer who loves to stay trim and is always at optimum fighting weight. He may push his body to the max, but he's relentlessly kind to himself. Omnivore. It's zoo. It really is. The humans are zoo exhibits too? What the hell is this place? Everything is wrong. Who exactly is all this information for, anyway? Yes, that's the real point, isn't it? There's no one in here. They took him to solitary, remember? I wonder when he'll be back. It may be a while. I got the feeling he was in pretty serious trouble. Poor guy. Did you see the tears in his eyes? He really didn't want to go. Yes, the way they had to literally drag him away was certainly unusual for a simple timeout. I shudder to think what kind of punishment he's facing right now. They even have ponies. This one's only big enough to carry a small child. Isn't this great, Mr. Edgeworth? It's like being at the zoo. Except it's the humans, not the animals who live in captivity here. No one would mind if I took one home with me, would they? If by home you mean behind bars, then no, I suppose not. I don't know about the only these kept in captivity yada yada though. There's something written here. It seems to be about the prisoner in the cell. Prisoner number D258. Classification, Captivus periculosus. He may look fearsome, but this lively fellow is actually a sweet-natured herbivore. He even has a pet penguin named Gwynny. He's skilled at giving such real gripping testimony, you'll swear you were there at the crime scene too. The end. It's the kind of thing you might expect to read in a zoo, not a prison. Yes, well, we'll talk to you last. We'll go around examining things first. Right on the kisser! She seems to have given you quite a shock. And why is that, huh? I thought you were a man of the world. Yeah, well, I'm all for saying hi with a hug, but going straight for the kiss? Cool your boots, am I right? Woo me a little before puckering up. That's all I ask. Wow, I never would have pegged you as the shy type. That's not the issue here, I think, Kay. Alright, an associate role. Listen, Miles, I've been meaning to ask. Does that frown of yours turn upside down? An assistant with a permanent scowl on his face is bad for business, you know? I don't see any reason why an associate attorney needs to smile. And that's how I know you've never worked in a private practice. It's all about building trust, man. You've got to create rapport with your clients. A smile here, a wink there, a hug to break the ice, and a card to show you're legit. Otherwise, I'll never open up. Yes, well, to each their own, Fender. I'll give it to you straight. Running the biz was tough going at first. I mean, Gregory Edgeworth. Man, those are some pretty big shoes to fill. I see. What kind of cases does the firm take on? Might be better asking what we don't. We do murders, parking fines, the whole 9 yards. Our basic principle is this. Everyone deserves a defense. So you've never refused a request? Well, let's just say I have certain preferences in the clients I work with. But didn't you just say that everyone deserves a defense? Hey, I'm just messing with you, little sis. Of course we treat all our clients the same. I mean, Gregory's name is still above the door. I've got to live up to his ideals, you know? And that means always doing my best for everyone. Edgeworth and Co, the firm my father built. Huh. It's a bit confusing when you've got a prosecutor Edgeworth going around the place. But the defense is Edgeworth and Co. I'm just wondering if one gives the other a bad rap. Probably Prosecutor Edgeworth giving Edgeworth and Co a bad rap. It's a mini pig, I believe. Though not for eating, I hope. Isn't this great, Mr. Edgeworth? It's like being at the zoo. Except it's the humans, not the animals, who live in captivity here. No one would mind if I took one home with me, would they? If by home you mean behind bars, then no, I suppose not. Seems that we've got a lot of the same dialogue for the animals we see along the way. This bench has seen better days. It's covered in rust. Yeah, only cats would dare take a nap on here. Maybe Gummy. I fear you may be right. I can see the crime scene through the window in this door. Mr. Edgeworth, you can't just shove your whole face in front of a window like that. You have to do it more sneaky-like. Steal a few good looks while keeping a lookout for your enemies. I am not a criminal, okay? So why should I have to behave like one? Yeesh, I was just trying to teach you my special sneak peek technique. Well, I have no need for any such technique. Thank you very much. This is the door to one of the workshops. Why do they have workshops in a prison anyway? They're for people to train in for when they return to life in the outside world. Or for a prison to monetize people that are stuck here, of course. But a dead body was found in one of them, right? So then it's not really doing a good job of helping anyone return to life, is it? I suppose. That's another reason why we should aim to clear up this mystery as soon as possible. God likes cat, cat best. You have a moment, we have a few questions for you. Oh, who's a good girl? You are? You're just perfect. She really is. She's beautiful. Ahem. Meow. He's finally noticed me, I think. I was wondering... What's her name? It's Waggy, man. She's my little friend. That's right. As you were then. What I need are answers, not clawful puns. I feel like I'm playing Final Fantasy 14. Ah! This is the way to the prison yard. Sadly, the shutter is locked tight. Freedom awaits on just the other side. A stoic lock and key twixt mine eyes and nose in the outdoor breeze. Such a cruel fate it is indeed. The more I think on it, the more it eats at me. And whose thoughts are you attempting to channel exactly with that soliloquy? Soliloquy. That's a word. Why is there a rabbit just... I nearly tripped over it. Isn't this great, Mr. Edgeworth? It's like being at the zoo. Yes, yes. Oh, mind if I took one? No, by whom you mean between bars. It's the same sentence again. I wonder where this door leads. I don't know about you, but I'm getting some real strong vibes coming from there. Maybe that's where they keep the super duper dangerous prisoners. That's certainly a real possibility, in which case we'd better turn back while we still can. Well, wait, I was only kidding, you know. So they only have 2 cells up to here, do they? Is that what you're saying? Look, Mr. Edgeworth, it's a monkey mountain! Not something I ever expected to see in a prison, I must say. Doesn't it look like fun? Not in the least. And while we're on the subject, you are not under any circumstances to climb on that structure. Do I make myself clear? But I have to show that monkey who's boss. Please, Kay, you really don't. No, you really, really, really don't. Well, we are in the oddest prison ever. We're never going to speak to apart from Kay. What is it, Mr. Edgeworth? Do you notice anything apart from all the animals and stuff? Alright, Her Holy Hammerness isn't here today, so now's our chance to make some real progress. Her Holy Hammerness. Now there's another way to refer to Judge Cavell. I'd like to think we're above name-calling, Kay, but yes, you're right. Well, what are we waiting for? There's investigating to be done. And that is everything done to speak with before we speak with our witness, or at least our oral witness. Let's put it that way. The AU variety. So with that said, and with that done, we continue our investigation on the side of Eddie Defender's defense. Eddie Fenders. Mixing up his name with his actual pun a little bit there. We continue on next time with more Ace Attorney investigations too. I hope to get a bit more to the bottom of this situation next time. I'll see you then for more. Bye-bye.